Those, although as a coxswain, I don't have as many options. But
okay,
let us go to the field right now. Speaking of eights, where we have the eights coming down right now. Our drone has just picked them up. Again, these 7-minute centers are so very exciting here. And it is looking like the men's youth 2v8s, a final. And what a race we have going on here. Do you mind if I give you some lane assignments?
hit me.
Lane 1, Mount Baker. Lane 2, Everett Rowing Association. Lane 3, Rose City. Lane 4, Sammamish. Lane 5, Green Lake. And Lane 6, Bainbridge Island. This is a race that I am always extremely excited to watch, and I will tell you why in just a moment, because I want to give the people some places here, some placements. So if we are looking at right now, Lane 3, Rose City, is that what you're seeing here as our clear leader?
Yeah, I think Rose City is second, and I think Lane 4 is actually in the lead. That's
our
Sammamish.
apologies.
Yeah.
You are right here. As we pull back a little bit, we have a full view of the field here. We had one boat off of our screen there. So our mistake indeed. My mistake indeed. I take responsibility for that. So Lane 4, Sammamish, followed very closely by Rose City.
Wow.
Followed very closely here by Green Lake and Bainbridge. Oh, this is going to be a heck of a race. I'm excited to see this already. Look at what we are seeing here. Sammamish being chased down by Green Lake in this second Varsity 8. And I want to point out again why this is so exciting. As they come in here, this speaks to the depths of these fields here and these teams. Sammamish, Green Lake, Rose City, Everett all have phenomenally deep teams. And we are seeing it here, these teams that get to push all the way down the finisher's chute here. What a race we are having between Sammamish and Rose City.
Wow, Rose City has a great bucket rig. That's a double bucket, and, it's banging out for them, but unfortunately just not going to bring them up to that fast finishing Sammamish crew. Sammamish at about 41, 42 strokes per minute for their finish right now. Rose City slightly under that, but wow, Green Lake just jacking up the rate behind them in third place. Wow, Green Lake is hungry to not be spat out the back. Everett trying to push into them, but
there we go. That is
alas.
Lane 3.
Yeah.
Then 5. Then 6.
Alas, Everett did not make it, and Everett just finishing 5th. So Everett did not get that national qualifier spot.
That is right. Lane 2, Everett coming across the line right now.
I was really hoping they would do it. They had, all matching high-vis hats, and now they're all fist bumping each other, getting that chain going. Well done, Everett. That's a heartbreaking position to be in. Just got to stay positive and have faith in the next season. A little bit of heartbreak when you realize that this might be the last race potentially of the season, but indeed, if these are seniors, might be the last race of their high school rowing career, and for those that won't be going on to college, could be the last rowing race of their lives. And you hope as these athletes grow older that they'll return to the sport. Adult rowing, I think, is on the up and up in the country, and U.S. Rowing recently said something to the effect of masters being the backbone of the sport of rowing, which I thought was pretty cool. So maybe this won't be the end of the sport for these kids, but you really do hope that they can find joy and love in rowing later on in life, regardless of where their path takes them.
Right. Well, too, and we hope a lot of these athletes will move up to their first Varsity 8s next year. They could be slightly younger athletes moving up. So, again, the second Varsity 8, again, just really speaks to the depth of these teams. And to have a good first 8, you need a good second 8 to actually push you. So these are athletes that either could be in a second Varsity 8 because they could be doubling up in other races. They could be younger athletes. There are a lot of reasons to be in a second Varsity 8. And a lot of times they call it the fun V, too. Like the 2V is oftentimes the fun V. So that's maybe why we see the neon hats and the flare and all kinds of fun things going on out there, but also makes for phenomenal racing. And as we speak, we have gotten a start on the next race of the B final of the men's 2v8. And this is a 3-boat race. If you don't mind, I will give you the lanes, and we can go right into the placing here as we get through the breakage point. Lane 3, Inglemoor High School. Lane 4, Lakeside School, and Lane 5, North Creek High School. So again, we are missing those outside lanes, so we've put everybody in the center lanes there, so don't be confused as we start to look at the screen and down the shoreline here. So
yeah,
where are we?
Lakeside came out with some wild swings. That was a very, very fast start from Lakeside. Inglemoor, though, reined them in almost within 15 strokes off that starting block. So this is turning into a really exciting race between Inglemoor and Lakeside. North Creek, I think, has already kind of been spat out the back. They did not have the best start. I saw some turbulent strokes getting them started, but Inglemoor right now trying to close the gap. There's about a seat lead that Lakeside is holding right now over Inglemoor. Inglemoor on your left, Lakeside on the right. And it looks like Lakeside is starting to double down on their pace. It looks like they just picked up maybe half a seat with a move. Pretty early in the race to be making moves like that, but they might want to shut the door on Inglemoor just ASAP.
Well, you know, I have to say I love looking at this angle on the drone because what we're seeing here from this overhead view are knees coming down together, bodies swinging out together, hands coming in together. You can really see the sequence of the strokes starting to play out. And it's so important as we take off the starting line, how crucial it is not to cut corners and skip steps, because when you're in an 8 like this, you're not trying to move water and just pound the blades through the water. You're trying to move the boat, and that takes a little bit of grace and a little bit of intensity and a little bit of intentional rowing as well. So you have to make those blades very sharp. You have to commit to the sequence, legs, body, arms, and move the boat, not the water. And so what we are seeing here are some of these boats doing this very, very well. They have gotten their boat up to speed. It's like getting a freight train up to speed here.
Yeah, you have to honor that momentum and really respect the fact that it is a delicate piece of momentum that is riding on a pretty narrow margin. Like each of these boats, the width is less than 2 feet for these 8s, closer to like 1.5 feet. So that's a pretty small piece of surface to balance what's effectively like over 1,000 pounds of weight when you consider the body mass of these rowers along with the weight of the vessel themselves. Inglemoor, it seems, has not been able to keep up the pace. Lakeside, I'm really appreciating this consistent rhythm from them, and it seems like they're all matching up pretty well. 2Vs are the fun V, but I think that there's also a lot to be said for that being kind of like the culture V. I think that a lot of 2V boats tend to sort of set the culture for a team because it changes more frequently than not. You get people from the 1V that maybe might get demoted, or 3Vs that might come up, and so the 2V is sort of a nexus for a team.
Right, as we say, the 2V is the fun V. Oftentimes you see a lot of really great attitudes too in the 2V because they're always pushing the 1V. There's a little chip on their shoulder. There's a lot of grit. And so I love to see that played out together when you get all the 2Vs together. And the Inglemoor Vikings right now looking really good. A testament again to Coach Alex Wheatbrook and Doug Van Gelder doing a really good job with the depth of their team. Again, this is a 2V, which means that they also have a 1V, like a varsity 8. So in order to have a strong varsity 8, you have to have a second V that pushes them, and we are seeing this really, really well here. Look at this beautiful drone shot as we're getting up close and personal with this stroke seat. I'm going to try to give you a stroke rate here. And it's looking like... what is this? Lane 3, Inglemoor Vikings at a 38 right now. So very high pace. And we are just about to see, looks like that 500 meter mark as we come into that 500 to go. Just a few strokes shy of that.
Yeah, here they come.
Here they come, already at a 38. I'm dying to know, where can they go from here?
Yeah, and it's really going to be up to the coxswain and the stroke man, but I'm seeing that they're having a hard time keeping it set in this Lakeside boat. You can see the boat's tipping a little bit left to right. You can see some splashes. Maybe they figured it out. Perhaps that was just a tiny blip on their radar because it looks a little bit better now.
Well, you know what's funny about that is I have had many a men's crew over the years say there are 2 types of boats. There's set boats and fast boats. And that is a joke, obviously, so
like
that
that
is not necessarily always true. However, in order to make a boat fast doesn't necessarily have to be perfect.
There you go.
They just have to get their blades in the water together and out of the water together. Rowing is a pretty simple sport. After all, we put a stick in the water and we push really hard.
Yep.
And here we are seeing, although the boat is not perfectly set here, it is in the first place position.
It is, yeah. They're doing the date.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is hard to fault them for that.
Yeah.
So,
And it really is tough to get 8 growing bodies all doing the same thing. So hats off to the Lakeside coaching staff. Big ups to Coach Steve. Steve Juniz has been the Lakeside coach for a number of years now, and he and I caught up yesterday. And he's just got a great vibe about him, and I think that he really takes that kind of Ted Lasso approach of honoring each athlete where they're at and really trying to just make them the best version of themselves that they can be. So Coach Steve of Lakeside, if you're listening or if your athletes or your parents are listening, you do such a good job with your athletes, and we are really lucky to have here in the Northwest. So congratulations on your crew leading this B final, and it looks like they're closing the last 50 meters right now to that finish line.
yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see this because even now, look, they're going for it. They are
Yeah.
out here by themselves in the lead. I have them at a 43.
Gosh.
43.
Awesome.
Unbelievable. Look at the orange crossing the line, matching the buoys here.
You know,
coming across the line first, about 6:45 on the clock.
Dang, and for 43 strokes per minute,
Screaming fast.
that didn't look too bad at all. That was speedy.
Not a bit.
I love it.
And you know what? A winning boat is a happy boat. So
Absolutely.
there we go. Very
Yeah.
well done to Lakeside. Phenomenal there. Let's check out. Let's
Inglemore
see.
bringing it
Inglemore
across the
coming
line there.
across
Yeah.
the line right now. Again, looking sharp. We will get you an official time there. Looks like Lakeside 6:47 on the clock. So very well raced to Lakeside out there by themselves. That again is a different mentality, being out there by yourself in the lead rather than with 6 boats across, although it is nice to be in the lead. So I'm sure no complaints from that Lakeside crew.
And here comes North Creek finishing out this 2V B final.
Exactly, and if I'm not mistaken, stroked by Justice Ramberg, one of the greatest names that I have seen on this sheet
That's
of
a good
paper.
one. Justice Ramberg.
Justice
Wow.
Ramberg, phenomenal job bringing your crew across the line in great shape there from North Creek High School.
Gosh, I hope he considers entering the judiciary one day. I will support that man's quest to sit on the bench.
You heard it here first.
Or maybe he can be a U.S. rowing juror. I found out that there are juries that are basically what we call our referee cadres recently. Despite having been in the sport for a long time, I'm learning new things about what it takes to referee and be an official for these sports. And actually today, earlier in the broadcast,